My Hero Academia is one of the most engaging shonen anime I've had the pleasure of experiencing in recent memory. It goes against almost everything I despise about boring, drawn-out action shows that have dominated the mind space of anime fans for decades like Dragon Ball and Naruto. In said series, what should be immensely satisfying bouts of triumph, loss, and raw emotion lose all the weight they've accrued by wasting as many minutes as possible from my incredibly busy day. Each 24-minute episode could contain maybe like 10 minutes of progression in the story after you take out like the opening and the ending and all the recap shit and the repeated footage they throw in from the previous episode you likely just finished watching. Hiroaka takes all that, smashes it all in half by keeping every single episode as interesting and eventful as possible. You might get like 15 minutes of new shit every week. Wow! It's not the best pacing I've ever seen or anything, but for a TV anime based on a weekly Shonen Jump manga, I can't complain. Our main dude Izuku is like the best main character for a shonen action series like this. He thematically and morally represents everything of interest in Hiroaka. He's just a regular guy like you and me, born into a world where everyone is better than him in every way imaginable. But then, he works his ass off to inherit the best superpowers of all time so he can show everyone just how much he deserves to be a fantastic hero. It'd kind of be like, in our reality, if a kid was born without legs and he somehow won the 100-meter dash in the Olympics by inheriting Usain Bolt's legs and training his ass off. Sort of. What the hell am I even talking about? What even is this video? Another Hiroaka review? How many of these have you watched at this point? You know, even in this week alone. You're probably only watching this because it appeared on some suggestion thing from watching another Hiroaka video. Because you're fucking addicted to this shit. People like Mother's Basement, you know, churning out videos, you know, not solely on Hiroaka, but a lot of videos like this. You know, there's a lot of other people making, you know, non-stop Hiroaka content just to get people like you to click on everything. And it's odd how few people actually see that that's what's going on. No one has anything interesting to say. You really think that Jeff from Mother's Basement really cares that much about Hiroaka? I highly doubt it. And I'm no better. I'm just a small YouTube guy trying to get people to flood my channel in some way, right? Like, I'd like to think that's more understandable, but I can understand why you wouldn't think of it that way. But, like, regardless, you don't know who I am, probably. You just clicked on this, like I said, from the suggestion, the feed thing, or the watch next, or the homepage even, of YouTube. Why would you trust my opinion on the show? You know nothing about me. Like, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned Dragon Ball and Naruto and how those shows annoy me. I've never even watched Dragon Ball. I've never even watched Naruto. Well, I've watched the first, like, 5 episodes of Dragon Ball. And I never watched Dragon Ball Z, that's for sure. So, but, like, you know, I put those 2 shows in there specifically to bring up this fucking point. Like, you have no idea that, like, whether or not I watched any of that shit. The way you should go about, like, reviewing a show or being convinced to watch a show is go to the show, like on Mal or whatever, read up on it, look at who made it, and be like, you know, in your own mind, like, oh, maybe I should watch this, or maybe I don't give a shit, or, I don't know, somewhere in between. Oh no, it's so hard. Like, what is even the point of watching reviews like this? What is the point? Just to see other people's opinion? I guess so. But that's not even valid for me, because here's the real bombshell. I haven't watched Hiroaka since, like, when it came out, like, almost 2 years ago at this point. Season 1. I watched all of Season 1, and that was it. I haven't watched 1 episode of Season 2. Well, you really thought I was going to talk about that? Did you notice that I've only used footage from Season 1 for that reason? Because I have no fucking clue what happens in Season 2 yet. The entire point of this video is to really show you how easy it is to make something convincing, like I actually put the time into watching the show. All I did for like the writing for the beginning of the episode, all I did was watch other people's YouTube videos, like Mother's Basement. I watched their YouTube videos on Hiroaka just to see what everyone else is saying, and I basically just ripped it and turned it into my style. Like, that's ridiculous, right? The point is, don't let anyone be the judge of your self-being. Go out, consume as much art as you can that you're interested in. And when you're done with that, go on and continue to devour more. Never stop until you're completely uninterested. Because at that point, you'll stop being interested in the bullshit like best arc of Hunter x Hunter or best waifu in Fairy Tail, and you'll be actually interested in the creators you start to follow because, oh, I like this one little animation bit, I wonder who did that, and you look into it, and then you'll find like another show that you really enjoy that you never would have watched because, like, I don't know, it's not your style usually, and you'll get into like all this other crazy shit, or like you'll start to like see genre tropes that you're really into, so you like look into like entire like subcategories, like not just like, for example, like romance genres. Maybe you get like really into like a specific type of romance subgenre or something like that. That's not gonna happen unless you go out and watch shows, not rely on other people to make reviews, because a lot of the best shows out there for you, not even the shows that are like more like, I don't know, consensus-wise better, like they have a higher score on MAL, for example. Like, there's a lot of shows out there that you will probably enjoy much more than a MAL score will ever explain, but you'll never know unless you consume it, right? So yeah, that's all I mean. If you're anything like me, you'll see that when you start watching more stuff, when you really start going out there outside of your comfort zone, the little things you used to get so worked up about, they matter almost not at all. And like I was saying about like waifus and fucking, I don't know, best arc. That's what I said. Those start mattering a whole lot less when you begin to fall in love with the anime industry itself, you know, and everything that it has always been. You know, that's another thing. Don't just stick to modern shows. Like, you like Hero Aka, but you're like me, and you never watched Dragon Ball. Not Z. Go back to Dragon Ball. Go back and see how all this shit started. Or maybe you like the superhero stuff, so you go more, you consume more, like, maybe you, like, really want to go into the nitty-gritty of superhero shit, and you, like, go and read, like, the first Superman series and shit like that. Go on and do that. Nothing is stopping you. And I bet that's going to be more worth your time than consuming these worthless review videos you've probably been wasting your whole day on. If you're anything like me, you watch one YouTube video, you watch 100 YouTube videos, right? Go out there, live your life, stop wasting your time. Come on, shoot, you can do it. Go.